It's my pleasure to introduce Janae Metzger. Upon graduation with an animal science degree in 2014, Janae started working for a family swine farm in Minnesota. In July of 2015, Janae had the opportunity to return to the family farm with the completion of their new 4,400 head sow farm. Now serving as the HR manager for the entire business, she focuses on all aspects of HR and supporting the swine team a few days as well. Janae is a mom and wife and is often seen on her family farm on a daily basis. Janae's talk today is entitled Establishing a Winning Culture on Farm. So with that, I'll hand it over to Janae.
Now we have a mic. We're good. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. So thanks for the introduction. And I was given the topic today. I don't always feel worthy of talking about this, but these are my experiences. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I also would like feedback and engagement from you guys. But to start, can you tell me by a show of hands how many of you guys are working with people every day? How many of you are managers or supervisors? Okay, how many of you are owners? A few of you as well. Okay, sweet. What are you guys here for? What are some things you guys want to learn? Hopefully I cover it. Anything? You guys know nothing? I don't believe it. Well, save your questions for the end. We'll go over some things then, and honestly, I would love to engage in dialogue. So we'll talk about culture. What does that look like on our farm? Like Kayla said, I work at Pig Hill, and I've had a variety of roles, so was able to come back to the family operation. But not right away. I actually started a job in Minnesota on a swine farm there, and it wasn't but a few months in, and I got a call from my cousin saying, hey, can I interview you? We want to start up a sow farm, and I'd like you to come on board. So came on board to start up a sow unit, and part of that involved hiring and onboarding people. I just graduated with an animal science degree, so I was very qualified for the job, as you could tell. So therefore, today I'm speaking about a lot of experience and things I've learned over the years. And I did grow up on the farm, so pigs are definitely my passion. And I get to work with people, so it makes for a fun mix each and every day. But I am a wife, a mom, a pig and livestock enthusiast. Love all sorts of things like that. So the outline of my talk, we'll talk a little bit about our team and our business. What does that look like? What is winning? How did we get there? Where are we going? And then I would love your questions. So, without all these great people, I wouldn't be able to be here today. I can't do what I do without them. And as a business, we can't go forward. So we have a mix of folks, a variety of languages spoken, different cultures, backgrounds, ages, but they all play an important role in what we do. In addition to them, we have another like 20 plus part-timers that help us on weekends, summers, internships, etc. Our farm business, though, is comprised of our pork production, which is our largest enterprise. We also have row crop, soybeans and corn. We're in Iowa, so we're boring. Beef production, we have feedlot cattle. We have operation services, which is maintenance, construction, yards, upkeep like that. Grain merchandising, so we have a full licensed elevator that we operate. And then support services would be our admin team, but we do a lot more than just admin services. It's HR, we do data management, reports, report writing, all of those fun things. So our journey, I'll take you a little bit along the road here where we've been. So in 2014-ish, up to then, we're mostly family, a few full-time folks, and we slowly grew over then. So a payroll looked about like 5 family members, 10 full-time above that. Had no established HR department. Duties were shared by our controller and the employee with our listening ear. So I don't know if any of you understand that, but there's always that one person that they all went to every year, and then we had our HR meeting. So that's kind of how things went. Some of you understand. 2015 to 2018, we added the sow farm, and we added 12 more full-time employees. So this, as you can tell, like basically doubled our staff, and then we doubled our sow farm, so we doubled our staff again. I was hired in this time frame for helping with managing the sow farm and the people, and like I said, that's really about all I knew of HR. In this time period, we started a peer group, and one of the recommendations to our business was, due to your growth, you guys really need to establish an HR person, and so that's how the role was formed, and I was the chosen one. I had one employee tell me, I hope you have a lot of ibuprofen. I said, oh, thank you. I hope it goes better than that. So it's gone better than that. In 2018 and 19, with all this growth, we really began to focus on culture. Our numbers will show you why. But some of the things we did to establish our culture and improve it was drug testing, doing better interviewing, asking better questions, extending our interview process so that multiple people had contact. We introduced the TN Visa program to our company, and honestly, I just started a lot of educating for myself because I really didn't have a whole lot of knowledge on that. Some concepts we introduced as well to our culture are 4DX, 4 disciplines of execution, and a winning scoreboard. I will talk about that here in a few more slides. And then in 2020 and where we are today, we've spent a lot of time on EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System. I'll speak on that as well. And some of the tools that has brought to our business has really helped us establish our culture, our core values, our mission statement, our engagement with our team, and just aligning management with the right generation and transitioning that from the senior to the junior partners. So we've come a little ways in a few years here, and I guess I tell you that just because you got to start somewhere, and we didn't have this all figured out right away, and it's a continual process. That's why I call it a journey, because I have not arrived at any destination. And I just shut down my PowerPoint. So what does winning look like? For us, and for many, you guys measure turnover. So here's my turnover. And these numbers, as you could tell, we were growing in the full-time column. We were growing our team. I put the involuntary numbers. The total would be the total number of folks that did leave. I did focus specifically on our sow farm or our swine business, because this is what we are, and put that in a percentage. So not all of our turnover came from the swine sector of our business, but as you can tell, a large portion of it did, especially at the beginning. However, last year, we had 0 people leave our sow farm, which was incredible, and it was really awesome. But that number, as you could tell, has gone lower and lower each and every year. And so that is, I guess to me, it's a testament to the things that we're doing and where we're at. And I study metrics a lot more than turnover, but I do know that a lot in the industry, that's just a standard number we'd look at. Our goal is actually 10% or less. So that's our standard. Obviously, I would like to beat it. This year, I should beat my goal. So far, I guess the year's half over. But turnover, like I said, 10% or better. We have a lot of positive or internal turnover, but that's, to me, good. So I don't count that against people leaving our company. But as our company has grown, we've definitely transitioned people into different roles. So that does create, to me, that creates just as much work. Hiring somebody and training them on that role and moving that person up and training them on that role, you still have that training and onboarding process without the advertising and interviewing, so to speak. Another testament to our turnover, I give credit to our TN Visa program. So that's really grown over the last 5 years. We started that in 2018, and we now have 17 of our full-time employees are on a TN Visa. So they have been a great addition to our farm. when I asked a few people we work with, I said, okay, please describe our culture. I'm making this presentation. I'd like to know from your perspective what you would say. And so our farm veterinarian actually said, we have an excellent culture. Oops, I'm sorry. Very positive environment, engaged team. People know the expectations and what is expected of them and the tasks they complete. So he's on our farm regularly, and so I think he knows and sees other farms as well. So that's what he made comment to. Worked with another farm consultant, and I mean, he pointed out a lot around the information that we share and the knowledge that we try to give our team members to empower them. And so we ask their input and we listen, and that's really what he has said. The gal we work with for our benefits, she's told us that we take a parental approach. We want to make sure everyone understands not only their benefits, but all the perks and what they mean to them. And then we definitely try to provide that information in Spanish and English so that everybody truly knows. And then the last one just talked about our camaraderie and the communication and spoke with leadership, setting that example. And so, I mean, I have a few of our team members in the room here, so you could ask them, but we really believe like boots on the ground managers are the most effective, and I think that really helps some of that. So part of our journey, how did we get to where we are? As I said, we implemented 4DX, the 4 disciplines of execution. Have any of you guys heard of that in this room? No. Okay. It's a really good book, so you should read it. But then the concepts of that are focusing on the wildly important, so setting your goals and sticking to them and measuring them and holding yourselves accountable to them. Acting on lead measures. So within our industry, there are plenty of lag indicators or lag measures that we cover and measure. So in HR, like the turnover is a lag indicator. In the pig world, mortality, your closeouts, any of your information on something like that with grow finish. So all of that stuff is typically lag. So we're trying to find something to give us indications of what is to come. A lot harder to measure. A compelling scoreboard. Sow farms have whiteboards. Most of them do. But I don't know how many like grow finish teams or HR teams or cattle teams, all of those within our business. Even our admin team, we measure different metrics and not necessarily financial, because the financial is the lagging indicator. So we'll we put those things up and we talk about them. And then a cadence of accountability. So accountability to me goes right alongside execution. And if you're going to get something done, you have to be an executor, but you also need somebody to hold you accountable to that. And so that accountability factor might, for ourselves, might be sending out like weekly schedules and then having your team, checking in with you. Hey, do you need assistance? Did you get those things done, et cetera? It might be a task list for your workforce, and for them, they're initialing off when something's done because they put their name there. You know who to go to. Perhaps for your growers, it's your summary sheet that you leave after your visit. So things like that are different, I should say, for me, different forms of accountability that I see. At our sow unit, we have our scoreboards, and I mean, one thing that's really cool about them is this one's tailored to the breeding group, and this one's tailored to the farrowing team, and they're live, so they're reading our database. The team's putting the data in, and then they're getting it pushed back out to them right away. And so it's really fun to see these numbers. Even me, I mean, I can call up the manager and say, I see a lot of black and some green on that board, like you're killing it. That's awesome. So you can give compliments, you can reward people for their hard work by just looking at the numbers. EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System. There are a ton of tools and resources within that, and there are a few of them that I'd say we've really embraced and implemented within our business and within all areas of our business. Some of those include accountability charts, ROCs, or establishing goals. So we establish trimester goals as a leadership team, and then from there we go to our teams and make sure that they're getting executed. And then we come back together and we score ourselves. Done or not done. It's pass or fail. It's not a percentage. So if you didn't get it done, F, 0 points there, and then we get a total score. We, as a business, have a metric of what percentage of our rocks, our goals, do we want to have accomplished every trimester. And then a vivid vision. So we write that every 3 years, and that's, so we just completed it, and so that's saying in 2026, this is what our business looks like. So in the swine sector, this is what we're doing. It's not how did we get there, it's just this is what it is. In the beef segment, same thing. Accounting, what do our processes look like? And so we write that, and now today, well, like at our next meeting, we will reflect on that, and we'll break that down and say, okay, what's our goals to work towards that? And so writing that vivid vision gives you a nice path forward, and will move you closer to where you want to be longer term in your business. And then level 10 meetings. I think this is something that all of you guys understand. How many of you love meetings? Okay, like nobody. All right, that's my point, right? So this meeting template, Casey, you should raise your hand. You like our meetings, but that's okay. So a level 10 meeting is named level 10 because at the end of your meeting, you score it, 0 to 10. Okay, 10 is great. It was worth my time. I learned something. I want to come back. 0, obviously the exact opposite. But the meeting itself has the same template or agenda, and you fill it out ahead of time, and so then when you show up, you're very efficient and very effective because you know each areas and topics you're covering, you filled out your notes ahead of time, so you have an idea of what someone's bringing to the table, and it's, I mean, I can give you kind of an overview. You start with a segue, so you start with, for us, you start with good news, a little snippet of your week that was exciting or something you worthy of sharing. And then we talk about calendars, so who's going where, who's doing what, whose teams have what going on that we need to know about. And then to-dos, kind of your general project list or something special above and beyond what you normally do in your responsibilities. And then you talk about issues, and that's where you spend most of your time. Okay, so that might be employee issues, that might be like a SOP you're writing and you need to work through, might be reviewing secure pork supply plans, yay, you know, fun things like that. So, but you take the time to actually work on the things that you need to be working on and that are important for you, for your business and for your team. And then you conclude who needs to know what. So what information do we need to share with the rest of our team or our staff? And then you score it. And we've just found that it's very effective. So find it online. I'm sure you found the template, or you can talk to me later, but it's a great tool for meetings. And then surveys. That'd be the third thing that I guess I hang my hat on, so to speak, of what's really helped us with some of our culture. So I do twice a year, I do a survey index. Those are the same, I believe it's 8 questions that get asked to our team. And then by asking the same 8 questions, I get to measure that and see where we're improving or declining, where we're always strong. I'll show you actually those results here in a bit. I do stay interviews. So you'd like people to stay in your business rather than an exit interview. And so those stay interviews are tailored to maybe a specific issue that's within the company. Maybe they're really general, like what do you enjoy working here? Why do you come to work every day? What do you enjoy about being here? How do you rate communication? What can we do to improve it? So I always try to ask some action questions, and then make sure you follow up with those. So don't ask questions for questions' sake, because your people will really believe you once you start engaging with them with the things they tell you. And sometimes it's necessary to do these anonymous. And so if you don't necessarily know who said it, but you maybe ask what department or maybe what farm they're working in, then at least you could address it within the farm and you don't have to single anybody out. But not only internally are we surveying our team members, but also externally. So with our grain elevator, we have a lot of customers that we're working with, and so we talk to them as well. We talk to our vendors, we talk to our packers. I mean, we like to talk with anybody who touches our business. We're asking questions and trying to see how we can better serve them. So here's the survey index trends that I was talking about, or the survey itself. And so as you can see, or one thing would be the score, what's scoring the highest right now is, are people enjoying working here? Yes, they are. And is the company respecting your time, your personal time? and that is also scoring relatively high. So that's important, I guess, to me, that our team gets time for their family and their outside activities as well. So this is what I mean when I'm saying a survey index and the trends that I'm watching. So what does our team say? So I asked them, this was their latest survey. I said, tell me about the culture. How would you describe it? What can we do to improve it? And came up with a few things that I'll share with you today. Appreciated this individual. They were very honest in the sense that not only say that the team is driven, we want everyone to exceed, but they also mentioned in there that our only detriment is we aren't always comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. So for me, that was great information. So what are we going to maybe do some training on or some following up on is how to have uncomfortable conversations, how to be approachable, how to approach somebody, something like that. Our other team members were friendly, always helping you out and understanding things. We really try to be calm, maybe not always, but we try to make you not feel less than. So there's no dumb question, quite honestly. Don't worry about what you come to us with. We'll try to help you out. And then just making sure everybody in their role is defined. They understand what they're doing. Good, like you can see, good environment. They're able to successfully fulfill their activities. It's pretty organized, and in general, everyone's really nice. It's a pleasure to serve in the United States, the professional area. This individual is on a TN visa, and he's worked with the company for over 5 years now. And it's been amazing what he's been able to do for his family working on our farm. Obviously, we're taking care of pigs, so they're working hard there, but we also want to care for them as family and keep a good attitude about it. And this next individual mentioned they enjoy getting to know where people come from because we have a diverse culture, but also it's like their second family. And so that's what I guess that's what the team members feel when they're working on the farm themselves. And then, again, respectful, happy, caring. So I guess my point in this is I took all these data points and all these questions, and if I had 100 comments back, 10% of them, so 10 of them were, I would say, neutral to negative. And of the negative ones, they were around communication. And I guess the marriage advice I was given was communicate, 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 and communicate some more. So the fact that communication is important in any relationship, it was no surprise that that's one area where it's like, well, if anything, we can always be improving our communication. So it's and I addressed it, and I'll continue to address it. It's not something I don't think you ever arrive, but we're working on it. So those are some things that we've really implemented, we've really focused. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I think those things are valuable. I feel like I have a system in place that's working for us, and I'd say the employees expect it. So they expect those surveys, they expect those survey indexes, those trends. They know that we like the feedback. But some other things I'm keeping on my horizon that I like going forward, what I want to continue to work on is training, furthering skills, helping people understand delegation, communication, like I said, being more transparent, making sure we're sharing the right information to everybody who needs to know. Recognition. Honestly, can we ever do enough? I don't think so. I think everybody likes some recognition, whether they say that or not. Everyone really does appreciate it. Community. Not that that's new, but I would say we've worked on establishing a community within our farm, just doing different events, grill outs or potlucks or things like that, celebrations, but off the farm participation as well. We live in a small community, and just getting people comfortable with volunteering, whether that's on the soccer league or in a community event or parade or something like that. And then technology. I think technology is ever evolving, but something we should always be keeping our eye on. And so whether that's in HR, to make that process easier for those of you who are in HR or for your people working for you, skills, obviously animals, that's what we're doing every day. So if you can make your people's jobs easier, like they'll have more mind and brain space to give to you and or to participate as an employee at a higher level. Questions? Comments? Sorry, I talk very fast. So if I need to go back a few slides and review something, I'm happy to do that. Yes. Yeah. So, good question. If on the level 10 meeting, if you get a low score, you say why. So, for example, the other day, someone said this was a 6 because we started late. So, there's ground rules. One of the ground rules is you start at the same time every day, so you know when the meeting is, at what time, and then you try to finish at a timely basis as well, so you like within an hour. And so, if you start late or end late, generally that makes our scores go down. Could be engagement. You just say, people were really distracted. Or if somebody called in, my audio was bad, so I only got half of this meeting. So it wasn't a great meeting for me. So you explain why. Yep. Yes?
Great vision, right? My question is, how do you communicate it? Comes from you, and then how do you trickle it down to the Slack level?
With the vivid vision, how do we break that down? So I actually put it in a presentation by each area, and then I give that out, like I send that out to the team. So through our HR platform, I can send documents to be viewed, and then a signature saying that they reviewed them. And then I also will go speak to the teams. I could do it that way as well, is just go talk to the team itself and just give them an idea of where are we going in the next 3 years, where do we want to be? What does this mean for you? How can you help us? So that's a great question because oftentimes it helps them engage in the process in a sense of, we said we'd like to be here, and so we ask them, how do you think we can get there? Or what are some ideas that will work or we could be doing today to help us arrive? So I think you can use it as an engagement point as well. But good point, Orlando. You don't do anything with it. What good is it? Yeah, I would say definitely get it communicated out. Whatever your channels are, whether that's email, whether that's your HR platform, sending it out to your farm managers, asking them to speak about it, something like that. Yeah.
When you're in Congress, how would you change the TN visa program?
Love the question, because I'd like to do that. So my opinion, if you really like to know it, it is a good program. I do like the TN visa program. I find that TN is a cheaper visa than an H-2A, and I know the industry is really focusing on the H-2A, which is fine. I mean, if that's the avenue that's easiest to go down. How we get the change, I'm not sure, but I've been seeing a lot of articles come through about the H-1B visas and some H-2As, and I think we should piggyback on some of those. The H-1B is a very professional visa. It's capped, so there's only so many you're going to get in a year. And on the H-1B, the spouse can work. On the TNs, they can't. Or the H-2A, their spouse can't come up. Is my understanding of that one. So I think we need to piggyback on the H-1B group. I don't know if that would work, but I kind of feel like if they're making progress, we should join forces. But yeah, visa reform needs to happen, in my opinion. Yes, I see some shaking of hands or heads. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Jay, how do you mention that you get people kind of on the bus and find the right seat on the bus where they should sit? How do you guys do your system, especially if you get the work of the immigrant labor in, you have to kind of be a little higher, maybe not as forward with the comment. How do you identify those people, get them in the right spot if those people are suggesting that? What kind of process do you go to figure out what's the best fit?
Well, I'm just trying to come up with how I tell you this. I don't have a very objective way. It's more subjective. Because I'm very involved with their interviewing and their onboarding, and so I feel like I can quickly gather their personality, their skills, etc. But then I'm definitely in the farm and checking in, and so because we're small enough, I can do that. And so I'd say you need your manager to be involved otherwise and get that feedback. How are they doing learning? How are they interacting with the team? Are they asking questions? What are they really excelling at? You really just got to watch, I'd say, from their skill standpoint. But then not only are they learning the skills, but are they asking the questions? And so when the vet comes to the farm, when the genetic companies come to the farm, when the owners are coming to the farm, are they engaging? And so somebody who's going to engage with me and stay engaged with me, I definitely will continue to pursue and kind of have more conversation and talk that way. And we're not afraid to try the seat. So not that I'm going to put somebody in management right away, but I'm not afraid to move people to a different role. I feel I have pretty solid training process and or well-trained individuals within the farm that could train each other, that you could put somebody in a role and quickly figure out whether they're a fit or not. Quickly is like 3 to 6 months. But does that help or answer the question? Yep. Yep. So how I've gotten there is I've kind of asked the people, like the team who works with them each and every day, and from my experience, it's the guy who will take grief from the rest of his team and not care, so the other folks that are speaking Spanish can give him crap for giving him orders, but he doesn't really care because he's like, well, they've asked me to do this and I'll just keep doing it, so to speak. It's also the person who's willing to learn and is, like I said, asking the questions to learn. So that, to me, that's how those within our farm have risen to that. And they're not necessarily all English speaking. So they've had to learn English, but it wasn't the English skill that got them there, if that makes sense. So to me, it's asking questions, it's engagement, and it's being willing to kind of take grief from the team in a sense. It's all in fun, but you got to have tough enough skin to kind of take that once in a while. Go ahead. Yes. So reviewing and getting feedback from my team, I think they're sick of hearing from me, quite honestly, because I ask them a lot. So first quarter of the year, I'm sending out that survey index. Second quarter of the year, I'm sending out a stay interview. Third quarter, I'm sending out that survey index again to see where we're at. Fourth quarter, I'm sending out the another stay interview. So you get two individually. Everybody gets this individually, and the stay interviews are different. So they're getting two different groups of questions thrown at them. So that's 4 times. Plus, if you're new, you get a 90-day check-in review, and then everyone has an annual review. Like, they hear from me a lot. So I don't get 100% feedback on all of them, but I do get good participation from them.
Jay, can you talk about some of the code of conduct strategies that you've done during lunch or break room to help people drive engagement?
Oh, sure. Yeah, so that's great, Matt. Thank you. So we do allow cell phones in the farm, but we have to leave them on the counter. So it's kind of like the basket at the house that some people have. And because we found cell phones were a complete distraction. And then people were texting and group texting and laughing and not including the rest of the team, and we said, forget it. Cell phones go there on the counter. And so when break starts, team comes in, do laundry, empty the dishwasher, get their food, go sit down. And then everyone plays games. So we have card games, like just general cards, Uno, and then there's some board games that some people decide to play. Cribbage, I'm trying to think. There's a variety of things that we throw out on the tables, but our tables are all together. So then, as a group, we're sitting close and interacting. And then at the end of our break, we kind of do a recap. Hey, how are we doing on our day? And go from there. And then, kind of go conclude that way. Is that getting at what you're wanting? Yeah, take the cell phone away, and I think that fixes it. Yeah.
What's the biggest change you've seen since COVID? With hiring, employees, whatever?
Thankfully, on our sow farm and like in our animal sector, we weren't too affected by that. as essential workers. Everyone showed up, and honestly, my team did awesome. I mean, people showed up. And if they're like, yeah, I'm just feeling a little sick, I'll take a break time a little different or whatever. So I feel like, honestly, everyone saw that and just saw how everyone was committed. I think that, like, strengthened the culture. In the admin side, I found there's a bit more of, like, people wanting to be flexible. So there's some, like, work from home business that's happening, and that's fine. So on the admin team, I'd say we have. COVID-wise, I can't really think of anything that would have changed through COVID, quite honestly. Are there things you're seeing that maybe I should have seen or expected?
See it across, on setback, people wanting more flexibility,
Oh, sure.
work from home, work these hours, that hours, that's more of an office kind of
Yep.
mentality.
But on our sow unit or our swine enterprise, I guess in general, we actually have a work schedule that's very flexible already, and that was before COVID. And so the way they work, it's not a standard like weekend rotation, and so they get days off during the week and or weekends. It just kind of depends how it flows. But they have the ability to like trade days with themselves, trade days with their team. So if you have an appointment that comes up on Wednesday and you don't have the day off, but Javier does, you can trade days with him. And so he comes into work for you and then you go work his day. So like there's this flexibility already built in our schedule. I think that was a perk before COVID. So, great questions. Other questions? Comments? Appreciate it, guys. It was helpful. Helpful for me, so thank you. And I hope you guys learned something and take it home too.